situation. If he followed the cue ball down, he might have gotten straight in on the 5, and that might have been awkward. Now he's in perfect position.
And that miss on the 1 ball for Van Boeing in the last rack has proven to be costly already.
Sure.
1 game, and now this looks like it's going to be another one.
He doesn't want to get straight in on this 8. If he does, he'll have to play the 9 in the side.
And it looks like that's where he's gotten, Brady. He has gotten straight in on the 8, just about. He's probably better off following it down for the 9 in the side. I like his ability to control the cue ball in terms of speed.
Sure.
I think he does that really well.
Good shot. It's a nice level cue, straight high English. Stay down and follow through just like that. Well, it's getting ever more interesting as we suspected it might. And it's going to be 4 games to 5, Corey DEUEL.
And after 9 games, it can't get any closer.
Nope.
We'll have another opportunity to watch. He's going to rack the 4, by the way. He will rack the 4 on the right-hand side of the 1 like he's done the last 3 racks.
I've got it down here.
Yeah. And he's going to play the 4 in the right-hand side pocket. And in doing that,
look at that, the 4, 7, 8, 9.
And the 1 ball will come down toward the lower left-hand corner for position. Let's see how well he does with it.
4,
this
7,
time.
8, 9, 5, 6.
There you go.
Same thing every game.
There you go. You hit on that. That was a pretty good observation.
You know, in our days, and you played as good a 9 ball in 1972 as anybody in the world, we didn't think about that. We just racked them up, tried to freeze them, and played.
A lot of things we didn't think about that they think about today.
The game's got awfully high tech.
There goes to 4, but it didn't reach the pocket that time. But as you can plainly see, he's getting great action off that second ball.
And he's playing position for the 1 in the same corner every time, too.
He's not breaking him as hard as Shane Van Boeing, but at this point in the match, he's certainly getting.
I don't know about you. I like going 2 rails up and down here. Rolling this ball makes it very difficult.
Yeah, I like doing that as well. You increase the accuracy of the shot, and that's what you really need to do. You need to stay in control of the table.
He'll use a high ball here, maybe a smidgen of writing, just not much. Oh, he decided to roll it. Okay, good shot. Now he's got to go 2 rails underneath the 4 ball.
Right. And he's got a nice soft stroke. He'll draw nicely, falling short of the 3, keeping the correct angle. He doesn't want to get straight.
Well, I think he's all right even if
now, yeah, he's got the other angle, but he's still a little awkward here. The shot play is much more natural, falling short of the 3, using the rail for position on the 4.
Well, he'll bounce this off the side rail and come back 1 rail towards the 4, just like this. Well, now it appears to be Corey who has the momentum. Okay.
But he's having to do a little extra work, both on the 3 and now on the 4 to play position for the next ball. But of course, with his ability and his stroke, he can do just about anything.
Right. Now, I don't know what kind of angle. He can play this 3 or 4 ways. He could bounce it out and play the 6 ball in the same pocket, or he could follow it like this. And again, here's another place which is a matter of individual choice. You can
you almost got to play the 8 in the upper right-hand corner.
I agree.
Because it lays natural for the 8 and the 9, too.
That's the right shot.
Oh, it's gotten down too far.
Well, now he has to go 3 rails.
Yeah.
And you got to be really careful with this.
And I thought that, he would pay more attention to the correct angle on the 8 to the 9. He had to take a little longer shot on the 8, but...
well, he's going to use inside English and try to put the cue ball back where it is now. 2 tips of left English here, like that. Boy.
Not on this table. Not on this table.
Well, the new cloth, it whips long, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I'd rather take my chances of scratching 3 in the corner as that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's not going to grab that inside English. It's not going to grab off. Look at that ball skidding like it did, almost missing it. But the inside English is not going to grab on the new cloth as much as it would.
And also, I thought he shot it a little too quickly, my friend. Didn't you? He kind of 1 or 2 stroked it. un-Corey-like, and just like that, it's 6-4 instead of 5-5. Let's see if Shane takes any no special way of racking them. He's got it 5-6, 8-9, so he's not like Corey's. Well, the room is abuzz with that last happenstance. You know, if you're a pool player, a guy told me the other day, and you do that for a living, he said you have to have a tolerance for uncertainty. I thought that was a cute way of phrasing it.
Once again, pocketing 2 balls on the break. Hasn't come up with a shot on the 1, but he does have control of the table, and he's looking for some sort of a safety here.
Well, he could bank at this. It carries natural position on the 2 ball. I wouldn't fault him if he did that. The safety it's not that easy. If you were going to play safe, how would you do it? Now, he's looking at that, but it's hard to snooker the guy.
Yeah, he's got a very difficult situation to deal with here. He doesn't have a real good offensive shot, and he doesn't have a very good safety.
You remember when we used to keep those stats with AccuStats, the top players in the world, when having an equally tough safety, equally tough shot, they'd shoot 2 out of 3 times.
And that's what he was addressing the table to shoot, but he has second thoughts now, backing up off the shot, reevaluating it. He's looking to thin the 1 ball, sending the cue ball in between the 7 and the 9.
Right.
And that's very difficult to do. But of course, if he hit balls as well as Van Boeing, you have then the ability to do that. But let's see how well he does. Narrowly missing the 7, not getting the results that he wanted. He wanted to put the cue ball behind the 10, dual steps to the table.
Now, this shot is, the 8 ball blocks a little bit of the pocket, but he does have a 1 regular, but it's tough to get position on the 2 ball, so I'm not sure what I would do here. If I shot at the bank, I think I'd pull the cue ball over there by the 5 ball and see what happened.
He's not going to like this.
I can't see the angle exactly. I don't know if that's cuttable in the side. That's what he's looking at.
I don't think he can pocket it inside. I mean, if he can, then he will have made 1 tough shot, in my opinion.
Well, it's hard to see the exact angle from here, but I think he can make it. And if he uses just a smidgen of right English, he'll float right over there for position on the 2 ball.
This is a very difficult shot. It appears that way from my vantage point. Possibly, I don't see it as well as he does.
The other shot, he could bank the ball, and it looks like it lays naturally to make the cue ball go over to the side rail and then 2 rails towards the 2 ball.
He's looking at the side pocket.
I like the cut shot.
It looks like it's a tough shot to me, but of course.
Well, on the new cloth, Billy, it'll give a little bit. The 1 ball. I mean, he doesn't have to hit it perfect, I don't think. Just like that. Very nice.
Nicely struck, and cue ball nicely repositioned.
He's looking to see if the 4 passes the 5. It looks to me like if it doesn't, that he can almost get the cue ball about where the 2 ball is and play the 4 ball in the lower left-hand corner. He's playing position for the same pocket as a 5. Okay. Must go. What an optical illusion. It doesn't look to me like it even passes.
See, he wanted to end up on the bottom cushion with for position on the 5 to go up table for position on the 7. Naturally, now he has to. I don't know if he can do that now with the angle that he's left himself. See, now this is a tougher position on the 7. Had the cue ball been on the bottom rail.
He's going to get the bridge or an extension, or what's he going to do? This is tough for a right-handed player to reach.
Yes, it is. It has the stretch here, and I find when you stretch, at least when I stretch, I lose a little bit of my feel
Well,
of the
what
cue ball.
happens is you and I hit them just like he did when we were young, when we had to stretch. Now we just grunt and hit the ball into the
Yeah,
rail.
and hope that we can shoot it quick enough and that we don't feel much pain.
Right.
You know.
Well, he's in pretty good shape here. You play position for the 9 on the side, just like this.
This is rack number 11, looking to extend his lead in this match by 3 games.
And it is, in fact, going to be 7-4 advantage Shane Van Boeing as soon as he makes his 10 ball.
So that slight misjudgment on Duel's part, where last time he was at the table scratching cross-side, has certainly cost him quite a few games.
Well, we used to figure that 2 unforced errors a match would win you matches as a rule if you made 2 or less. And I would venture to say that in 10 or 11 games, or a race to 10 or 11 as part of this great match, if they make 2 unforced errors or less, that'll probably have them the lead at that point. But Shane, Corey doesn't want to make a mistake like that. That's
No.
for sure.
There are unforced errors that carry stiffer penalties.
Right, of course, yeah.
And certainly he was guilty of that.
Well, it's 2 games, as you know. If you and I are playing for $100 a game, and I've got $600 in my pocket, and I make an unforced error, I pay you $100. Now, instead of me collecting $100, where I've got $700, now I got $500, so it costs you double.
It's a swing.
And plus, with these great players, when you make a mistake, the other guy's still at the table. There's no telling how long he's going to be there.
Right.
Now, this is tough, Billy. Look at this shot. This is very difficult to bridge as for drawing the cue ball, and the 2 doesn't go anywhere.
It goes cross sides.
Yeah, that's the right shot if he can do it. And it also enables him to not have to use very much English to accomplish that.
And the reason that he hit the ball where he hit it because he wanted to control the cue ball for the bank. And controlling the cue ball for the bank, he had to hit the one thickly.
Well, it's not just that, Billy. For a right-handed player, when the cue ball's frozen on that side rail, it's very difficult to bridge. The other side is a much easier shot. Now, he's a little bit advantageous in that Corey doesn't have much here.
He really doesn't have much. There really isn't, a good safety available for Corey because it looks like after contacting a 1, particularly with the distance that he has here, he's going to have his hands full of controlling both the cue ball and the 1 ball.
Well, what I would try to do is I'd try to thin the 1 and knock it up on the first or second diamond on that left-hand far side rail and bring the cue ball 2 rails down and try to leave him straight in on the 1 because the 2 doesn't go.
That's a very intelligent shot. And considering the position, in the situation that he's dealing with here, that may be the correct shot.
Well, let's see what he decides to do.
Very difficult situation to deal with here. And there's no surprise to me why he's taking so much time. Great amount of indecision out there because of the complexity and the difficulty of the decision making on what to do with this shot.
Now, Joe Davis's great book, Complete Snooker for the Amateur and Professional, I think that's what he tried to do, just call it too fat. Joe has you, when you're over a ball, to take a little 2-inch back and forth backswing, and you can follow through as far as you want to for accuracy when you're shooting over a ball. I know that's helped me many a time.
Explain that to me again.
Well, when you're bridging over a ball with the cue ball, you only take a 2-inch going forward and backwards with the cue, and then when you follow through, you can take a 20-inch follow through if you wish.
You minimize your backswing, and then you can do whatever you want with your final stroke. That's not going to get it. That's not going to get it.
He's going to find himself back in the same area, I suspect.
It looks like to me. That's exactly where he's going to be.
Corey can't shoot because the 3-ball blocks the bank. There's no cut shot.
No. I believe what Corey should have in mind is forget about the position of the 1 ball where that lands. Play the cue ball on this shot. There are a lot of times when you play both balls. This is an instance where you just play cue ball.
The shot I like here, though, is trying to leave the 1 over beyond the 4 and 3 and hiding the 1 behind the 5, 9, 2, 3, 4. I mean, there's all kind of good things can happen if you can get the 1 ball over there, too. All he has to do is hit about a half a ball and make sure he doesn't scratch across corner.
Yeah, but sometimes you try to reposition both balls, but we're not really having the angle to do that.
Well, of the two, the cue balls are most important, as you suggested. No question about that.
Right. So therefore, whenever that type of a situation does develop,
Sometimes when I'm in a
control the
spot
cue
like this, I'll say to myself, what would Efren do? Because he's a great safety player in situations of this. See, here's a shot just like this is what I like.
right? If he had the ability to do that, I think that he
Well,
played.
he didn't get the
played
one
correctly.
on the rail. If he had, he would have really had him in some trouble.
Well, he's left him distance, and that's an ally to have in your favor. And very difficult shot to negotiate from the distance that he is from the one.
Yeah, this is a tough shot, no question about that. I can see several possible safety plays. I don't see any offensive shot.
He tried to hit the 1 ball more thinly than he did. But you know what? Looks like he's gonna. Looks like no. Well, I was gonna get away with it.
This is a similar situation. It's on the other side of the table. It's hard for a right-handed player to bridge this shot. And if he plays the 1 ball past the 5 and 9, he doesn't get positioned even for the 2 ball bank, I don't think.
Right. It's a type of a shot where you don't see much of a win out there for yourself, which is kind of like it's discouraging in somewhat, but you have to stay focused here, and he's got a tough situation to deal with here.
There's several ways he could play safe if he wished. So he's looking at 2 rail on the 1.
And he's going to try to reposition the cue ball behind the 9.
Right.
2 railing the 1 away from that end of the table.
Oh, he played the billiard on the 5. Very nice shot. Very nice.
Yeah, he did. He played the billiard on the 5. He's a very creative player, and he's willing to take chances. He's a very aggressive, creative player.
Now he'll try to follow this down, just float the cue ball down about 3 feet, just like this. Good shot. No problem with getting on the 3 ball if he can pocket the 2. This is a big game here. There's a huge difference between 7 to 5 and 8 to 4. Well, this is a little funny here.
Yeah, looks like it's a little funny.
I want more angle than this, don't you? I mean, he'd probably have no trouble with it, but since he's such a straight shooter.
Right. Yeah, when you shoot as straight as these two guys, that type of an angle really doesn't represent much of a problem because you feel so comfortable with your accuracy.
All right, 5 to 7 is going to read our tally forthwith, just like that. Shane Van Boeing in the lead. I want to take this home with me to practice my 10 ball. Let's see.
You gotta switch your mic.
What is it?
Down, get the headset goofed up. That ain't gonna work. Go ahead. I'll figure it out.
Well, what's wrong with the audio on this headset?
The headset, it's cutting out. But it's not bad. Go try that. Dave. Take that one off. Yep, it's all plugged in.
You want me to just hold this and talk?
Take that one off, the headset off.
Are you going to be able to do anything?
All right. I'm going to take this home with me, my friend. I'm going to practice my pinball racking the balls the way Corey is there.
He did pocket a ball on the break, but the cue ball found its way into the corner pocket. He already trails by 2 games in this match, and it looks like he's going to be trailing by 3 games because the balls are laying quite nicely over the table here. 2 to 3.
Which side of the 2-ball do you like to get on? I like to get where I don't have to go down to the end rail, like this.
Yeah, he's going to get straight in on the 2 and more or less force it in between the 6 and the 3.
Right.
He could even bump the sticks. It wouldn't hurt. But, you know, he handled it very nicely.
Okay. If he's exactly straight in, it's a little touchy. Although the brand new cloth is making the pockets fairly forgiving. What about drawing it back? And according to how far you draw it, you could play it in the left-hand side pocket or this lower left-hand corner pocket. He's looking at playing it in the far left-hand corner, maybe.
Well, he has all 3 pockets available on the left side of the table here. Left side, left far corner, and the lower left corner.
Okay, that's okay. Low.
He chose the low right corner.
Yeah. Well, that was another option. Low, right hand English, and he'll bounce the cue ball out 1 natural rail as he pockets the 4-ball. Just like that. Now again, this is a shot that all you aspiring players are going to have thousands of times in your pool playing career. You have to be able to bounce the cue ball out 1 rail naturally.
But I like lengthening this ball out and playing longer position on the 6, which gives you a much better angle.
Right. And this is perfect.
By going short across the table, you run across your angle quickly. By lengthening out, you stay on that angle for a longer period of time. And, you know, with his ability to pocket balls to the distance isn't any problem at all. There were days when you and I both just cinched balls and stayed on the right angle, even though the distance of the shot was greater. It didn't much matter to us because we knew we were going to make the ball.
Right. Yeah, I remember Portland Don and Boston Shorty, who, in my opinion, were probably the 2 greatest position players who ever lived, and they always were close to the ball with the right angle. And Don used to go in places and play guys for $50 a game, which was a lot of money in the 50s and 60s, and he'd grab a house cue, but he wouldn't even look at the cue. He'd turn around with his hand. He's not looking at the rack, just pull something out, and that's what he'd play with. And he'd beat you with it, too.
All right, that's game number 13. Van Boeing now leads in the match by 3 games, 8 games to 5. It's it's amazing. If I took one out of the rack, I mean,
well, me
it
too.
has to be smooth. The tip would have to be perfect, you know, or else I'm not going to fool with it. You know,
Well, you remember Don, wasn't he a beautiful player?
Yeah, yes, he was. Little expression of concern on Duel's face. You and I can see him. I don't know if they can see him at home, but it seems like he's has that look of great concern. What's going on here? You know, he's trailing by 3 games. Hey, I'm the favorite here. He's saying, "What's happening here?" Well, what's happening here is you're playing a young guy who plays really, really good.
And he's filled with confidence and ability right now. He's done well in several gambling matches, had some nice tournament finishes.